Welcome to tonight's show, The Arts in Exile. And now, or maybe later, Jason Russell.
Also on the show is Laure-Anne Basilar.
We also have a film tonight by L.I. Henley and Jonathan Mall.
All right, and on the show we have a memory from Dottie Grossman and Michael Vlatkovich.
We have a film from Annabelle Augustine and Ethan Messaker.
And on with the show!
well, I think it began when I couldn't play the drums, so I did that. I was always very interested in rhythm. When I was little, I used to walk around banging my knuckles on things. More sensitive parents might have picked up on that. On New Year's Eve, my ancestors showed up in my dreams, inexplicably, dressed for cold weather, munching root vegetables, working nonstop on the kaleidoscope of genes that eventually arranged themselves as me.
I'm going to read a poem called Great Gullet Creek, but in Flemish, which is my mother tongue. I'm from Belgium. They say de grote geule, which has a softness to it that I love. And there are a few things in the poem that you might not know about. For example, the word polders. Polders is land that is taken away from the sea by building dikes, letting the water evaporate, and then planting potatoes and leek in those fields, and then putting another dike, and very slowly trying to acquire little land from the sea. I'm going to read this poem for a sister poet that I admire very much. I'm fascinated and love her work. I also like her a lot. Her name is Marcia de la O. So this is for you, Marcia. Great Gullet Creek. Skies over the polders are never empty. They return to brood here, year after year, the old congruent clouds. There's no better place on earth to be clouds than over this wild, wind-blown edge of Flanders. No place where rain falls hard as willow knots, dull as North Sea froth, or with that shade of cobblestone gray. And nowhere do winds whistle this way, peaked and forlorn, like muskrat calls in the Grote Geule, Great Gullet Creek. Once, in a Bruegel winter, a farmer and I sailed across Great Gullet Creek on the anger of Flemish winds. Christmas break, 1949. I'm 6. My parents leave me at the Grote Geule farm. They're going on a trip to very far away again. The farmers will take care of me. I must be obedient and polite. One day, the oldest farmer packs clothes, food, and candles in a large basket. We'll spend the night in the fisherman's cabin on the creek. A surprise tomorrow, he says. All night, gales pound at the walls and windows. When I wake, it's still dark. I watch the farmer light the oil lamp, dress over his striped pajamas, pull a small cross from his vest, kiss it, and put it back. He feeds the stove, throws in a match, and whomp! Flames burst out, spiked and golden. The farmer's face glows. Long shadows waltz on the walls. Eel nets swirl, rods and reels wave. Frozen window pipes glitter. The window is liquid, then clang! He slams the stove shut, and everything is small and cold again. We stand by the stove. He helps me cover my chest and back with sheets of brown paper that we waxed the night before, melting candles in a tin can, then pouring 2 layers on each sheet. Wind rage armors, he says, handing me blue varnished wooden shoes. On the table, lit by the oil lamp, 2 twigs of licorice wood, a rock of raw sugar, an orange, 2 chunks of black bread. He cuts the orange in 2, shatters the rock with his knife, and stuffs the pieces deep into the orange halves. I chew the sour bread and suck at the sweet fruit. Outside, cold light oozes through clouds. Daybreak. Scarves, cowls, coats, gloves. We slip the licorice twigs in our pockets, warm our hands one last time by the stove, open the door to a wind sharp as nettles. Door latch, gate latch. We walk toward the frozen creek. He pisses long and steamy on a mooring pole. Behind the poplars, a small sun barely sifts through the clouds. A brown buzzard cowers on a willow like a quilled Quasimodo. Flat-bottomed and upside down, a rowboat lies in the frozen field. The farmer slips his hand under the prow, orders, "Close your eyes." Then, look. 4 steel blades dangle from leather straps. Skates. We're going skating. We sit on the boat's hull. He ties the skates to our wooden shoes. The wind slaps down smoke from the cabin's chimney. Acrid ribbons of coal fumes tangle with reeds. From across the creek come broken, wind-gutted calls of village church bells. Da-dong, da-dong. He looks at the sky. Skating will be good. The wind's angry. It's coming from Germany. We set foot on ice. January chews my cheeks, but I don't utter a sound. I am not a city filly. He'd warn me, only city fillies fussed. He hunches like a buzzard before taking flight, grabs the sides of his coat, opens his arms wide, turns his back to the wind, lets it belt against him. "Crouch," he says. "Grab my coat. Hold on." A gust whacks me against him. He takes 2 wide strides, and the wind pushes us. The ice is littered with leaves, twigs. My skates send thunder through my legs. We're sailing. My lips and throat hurt, but I scream, "Faster, faster!" He straightens his huge back, opens his arms even wider. His skates clatter, pelt my face with ice. We're picking up speed. The creek sounds like 100 drums. My eyes freeze. I can no longer see, but I'm no city filly. I'm no city filly. When we reach the opposite bank, our faces are blue. Knees so stiff we can't straighten our legs. I'm thirsty. He gives me his licorice stick to chew, rubs his palms, blows into them, and puts them to my cheeks. Winter blows low oboe notes through the reeds. A few yards away, northern shovelers quack and ruffle their feathers, sending rust and cobalt flashes over the ice. We untie our skates, turn our backs to the creek, and walk through the potato polders towards the village of Kieldrecht. My wooden shoes slip on frozen loam. I trip, but he holds me by the wrist. The winds won't stop. They churn clouds. They send them crashing into the steel blade of the horizon. We don't speak. We hurry through the village, to the cafe by the windmill. He pushes open the heavy door, a few nods, and taciturn "Dag, dag" from stout drinking men. We head for the high Delft tiled stove. We hang our coats on a chair beside it. The tables are covered with thick rug-like tapestries, and I rub my hands over their wool. They smell of must and winter, like the hem of the farmer's coat. He orders Dutch gin, buttered bread, mugs of broth. He pours gin in my mug. We slurp and slurp. He throws back his head, closes his eyes, crosses his hands on his belly, and smiles. Behind heavy lace curtains, I watch clouds shred against the church steeple. On the way back, our skates ring as he slings them over his shoulder. Winds blow night deep into the streets of Kildrecht. Bundled silhouettes slip out of low doors, lock shutters, disappear. Bent figures hurry by on black, high-handled bicycle. "Good night, farmer," they say. "Good night, farmer," he answers. We hurry home through the potato polders, and when we near the farm, a dog yaps and cows bellow in the barn. At dinner, I ask the farmer for the cross he hid in his vest. I kiss it so it will keep my parents very far away. Outside, the Flemish winds sing. From the village fall 6 low notes. Thank you very much.
We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time on Arts in Exile.
I don't want to brag, but I had this dream in which the great Miles Davis co-signed a loan for me. Don't ask me what it was for. The important thing is that he was wearing a red and gold plaid jacket and matching gold pants, which sounds awful, I know. But it was Miles after all, and he was helping me out, so I forgave him.